Are we ready? Sure. Should sound very confident. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you all to the September 2nd Noblesville Board of Zoning Appeals meeting. Can we have a roll call for a quorum, please?
Mr. Bertner.
Here.
Mr. Field.
Here.
Mr. McGinnis.
Here.
Mr. Sears. Mrs. Wall. We do have a quorum.
Very good. First item of old business is the findings of fact
Make a motion to approve.
for 1338 Pleasant Street. It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Next is the findings of fact from 2002 Greenfield Avenue. We have a motion. It's been moved and seconded. We have to say the name of the place, otherwise they won't know what we're talking about in the.
You said number 2.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Moving on to new business. We have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items here for 225 Park 32 West.
Thank you. I'm going to put up an aerial. Okay. All right, good evening. Tonight before you for agenda item number 1 is a package of 6 variance requests for 255 Park 32 West Drive. Staff Exhibit B is an aerial. The property is on the west side of Park 32, which is just south of US State Road 32. It's a 1.03 acre parcel. It is currently improved with a 4,800 square foot industrial building constructed in 2014 within an existing industrial park. Park is zoned I-1 in the State Road 32 overlay district. To the north, east, and west are industrial users, all in that same zoning district. In March of this year, the property owner applied to construct a warehouse addition of the same size, approximately 4,800 additional square feet, on the south facade of the existing building and a parking lot expansion. I'll leave the aerial up for now. The existing building is central to the 1 acre parcel. The proposal is 4,800 square foot addition on the south facade and then extending the parking lot to the south as well. The project application was considered at the June 19th TAC meeting, and I did attach the planning and engineering TAC review letters in Exhibit G just so you can get a sense of the comments that were made from those 2 city departments. The proposed addition would match the existing building steel siding with a 3-foot high brick wainscot, a steel roof with a 3.5 roof pitch, 2 14-foot overhead doors and 2 man doors on the east front facade and 2 man doors on the west rear facade. No windows are proposed on the addition, although there are 2 small windows on the existing front east facade. Through the TAC review process, it was noted by the staff that the proposed addition did not comply with the architectural standards of the State Road 32 overlay district. Of the 6 variances you're hearing and considering tonight, 5 of those requested variances are to that overlay district. The proposed project complies with I-1 bulk standard zoning requirements, however. The 6th variance is to Article 10, which is the required parking standards, and we will work through that as we get through after the first 5 variances dealing with architectural standards. On page 2 of the staff report, I have excerpted from the UDO, Section 8, the purpose of the overlay district, which was adopted May of 2021. Because we're going to deal with the 5 architectural variance standards, I will put up the proposed elevations.
Amy, is this going to be a single occupant, or are there going to be four? Is this going to be subdivided and leased?
It has the potential to be subdivided.
Okay.
Correct, yes. So resulting would be 9,600 square feet. I don't know how the existing 4,800 square feet is divided, if at all, right now, although it does have 2 overhead doors existing. Essentially, what the applicant proposes is a mirror image of the building that is there now. The 5 development standards requests to the State Road 32 Overlay District are as follows. To allow for a building facade which is greater than 90 feet in length without the required offset, projecting, or recessed at intervals of not greater than 60 feet. To allow for a building addition with a roof pitch less than the required 412. To allow for a building facade without the required main entrance on at least 2 window openings associated with the main entrance or multiple architectural elements. To allow for a building addition without the required minimum masonry requirements, and to allow a building addition without required window accents. Beginning on staff page 3, I have taken from Article 8 the architectural design guidelines, just so you can see what is required. Additionally, on staff report page 5, there are some pictures directly out of the UDO, so you can get a sense of what the UDO requires in that State Road 32 overlay for building modulation, roof line modulation, and entrance articulation. The proposed warehouse addition is a prefabricated metal building with no modulation in intervals of not greater than 60 feet as required by the UDO. That top page on staff report 5 shows or depicts what a building modulation would look like if we were following the UDO standards. Both the existing structure and proposed addition provide a roof pitch of 3.5 with no modulation, whereas the overlay district requires a roof pitch of a minimum of 412 to 1412. That's in the second picture. The proposed addition would not have a defined main entrance with at least 2 window openings or multiple architectural elements required by the overlay, resulting in no window accents either. A minimum of 60% of the building facade per the overlay standard must be covered with masonry material, with no more than 25% of the building facade covered with metal, fiber, cement siding, etc. Again, the addition would be full metal facade except for a 3-foot high brick wainscot to match existing building, resulting in 19% masonry material on the exterior of the building. Staff is recommending approval of these 5 variants of development standards to the architectural requirements of the UDO. The requested variances are to the aesthetic requirements, and if approved, are not likely to be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community. The proposed addition would be compatible with the materials, roof line, and modulation of the existing building and to the adjacent industrial users. It's important to keep in mind that this is a pre-existing industrial park. It has some of these buildings, if you recall, you dealt with the same set of variance requests for IDES, which is the building just to the south. That building was built in the 80s. So some of these buildings have been there for upwards of 40 years. This one happens to be newer, but it does predate the overlay district adoption in 2021. Finding number 2, the use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the variances will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner should the board decide to approve the 5 architectural standards variances. Not providing the minimum masonry material, facade or roof line articulation, roof pitch, or defined main entrance will not impede or prevent the use of adjacent properties, nor will values in the area be depressed. Nearby property owners could remonstrate against this request. Staff, as of right now, heard from no one, written or phone calls, seeking additional information. Finally, on these architectural standards, applying an overlay district does restrict the use of the property. Again, it's an existing industrial park. Staff does not believe that in this case, these architectural guidelines benefit the community as a whole. This is not an area where the general public will be going. You have to have a reason to come into this industrial park. It's going to be a typical industrial building, and it will match what's there, and it will be consistent with the industrial users surrounding.
So it is consistent with the surrounding architecture then?
It is,
Okay.
yes, it is. In fact, the IDES building that is almost complete now is a lovely building, and it's probably not compatible because it does have some of that roofline articulation, and that is not as industrial looking as that. I would say that that's sort of a one-off there because of the nature of the business. But again, this isn't a typical I-1 user, typical I-1 building. Any questions about the overlay standard requests?
Anyone? I don't believe so.
Okay, all right. Then we will move on to the sixth and final variance request. This is to chapter, or Article 10 rather, which is our parking requirements. And this request is asking for an allowance in the reduction in the required parking spaces. Staff Report 7, I put the UDO parking space requirements for industrial users. The existing 4,800 square foot building provides 6 parking spaces, which is 3 spaces deficient from what is required per the UDO. With 9,600 square feet of building space, 20 parking spaces are required. The proposed parking lot expansion would add 7 additional spaces for a total of 13. It appears that the requirement of 1 parking space per 800 square feet for warehousing or wholesale establishments was applied when the building was originally constructed. So I believe that staff looked, or whoever looked at the parking requirements, and perhaps at that time the intended user was a warehouse or a wholesale establishment, which has a different parking requirement than what we are applying now. Without knowing a specific user for the 9,600 square feet available, the more restrictive requirement of 1 parking space per 500 square feet for manufacturing and industrial establishments should apply. Attached as Exhibit F is the schedule of uses for the I-1 district. That way you have an idea of what uses could be, what tenants could go into this building by right, as well as a list of the prohibited uses in the State Road 32 overlay district. Staff is recommending approval of the reduction in parking. Again, the findings of fact start on staff report page 7. Staff does not find that a reduction in the parking requirement is likely to be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare. The proposed parking spaces would be consistent with the existing parking ratio, and the deficiency is more likely to be injurious to the property owner rather than to the community due to parking constraints, and that parking constraining who can be a tenant in that building if additional parking is required.
Is parking permitted on Park 32 West Drive, do you know?
It's a public street. I don't know what would be allowed.
Okay.
I'm not sure. The use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner by allowing the requested variances. Should nothing contrary be brought to light, again, staff has received no correspondence at all on this variance request. And finally, the existing building has functioned with deficient parking spaces for 10 years, and the proposed variance request would be consistent, again, with the existing parking ratio. If the variance is approved, the property owner and future tenants will have to determine if the site adequately meets the parking requirements for the users. Applying the 1 space per 500 square feet requirement would hamper the use of the site for its intended and zoned purposes. Again, staff is recommending approval of all 6 variance requests. Typical 2 standard stipulations or conditions of approval apply to all of them. The parking reduction does have an additional condition that all TAC comments shall be addressed prior to issuance of an ILP for the building addition and parking lot expansion.
All right, thank you, Amy. Does anybody
Thank
have any questions? All right, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Is the petitioner present? Good evening, sir.
Good
Could you
evening.
state your name and address for the record, please?
Yes, for the record, Andy Wirt, land use professional with the law firm Church, Sherrill and Antrim with offices at 2 North 9th Street here in Noblesville. Here tonight on behalf of our client, MH Land Company LLC, Zach Stevenson with MH Land is in the audience with me tonight. Really don't have anything to add to what Amy said. I will briefly address the parking. We've got a tenant in there now, Bolden Restoration, who's headquartered right across the street. They are storing some of their vehicles in there, so it's just a warehouse use. We anticipate a similar, there seems to be a demand for that kind of use, so we anticipate a similar warehouse type of use in the addition.
Okay.
Other than that, on the architectural, we're really just trying to avoid a Frankenstein-looking building here.
I understand. Does anyone have any questions for the petitioner? Thank you, Andy. We may bring you back during our deliberations if we have any specific questions.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. This item is before us for a public hearing. If anyone would like to speak for or against this item, please step forward. Seeing none, I will close the public hearing. As an industrial user, I can appreciate the fact that the specifications and requirements for a simple industrial building that's kind of off by itself should be different than it should be for something that's right on the main drag or in a highly traveled shopping area where all of the surrounding landowners and building owners have gone to great expense to make their buildings attractive, but this is a little building off by itself amongst another bunch of other little buildings. Since we're a little short-handed tonight, I would take all these in block, and I would move for approval based upon the findings of fact with the specific conditions listed therein.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Wait, roll
Wait.
call.
Roll call, please. I'm sorry.
Chairperson Field,
Aye.
Mr. Bertner,
Aye.
Mr. McGinnis. Motion carries 3-0.
Motion carries. Thank you very much and good luck. Moving on to agenda item number 2. And if I read this correctly, it's kind of hard to read. It would be 19299 Green Valley Drive.
I would just like to say that my petitioners are not present for this case.
Okay. The petitioners are not present?
So it's entirely up to the board how you'd like to proceed. We can continue it, we can go ahead and do the presentation, you can make a decision on that, or you could vote it down for them not being here, really up to you.
I kind of think we should continue it until they can attend.
I think that's appropriate.
Okay.
All right, I would move that we continue this item until the petitioners can be present.
Second?
Moved and seconded. Can we have a roll call?
Chairperson Field,
Aye.
Mr. Bertner,
Aye.
Mr. McGinnis.
I would also move that if there are any fees involved with them coming back a second time, I would move that they be waived. I don't know if there are or not.
In this instance, they don't need to re-advertise. The continuance is covered under the advertisement from the previous
Yeah.
month,
We'll just note for the record that it'll be on next month's agenda. So
October
on
6th.
October 6th agenda will be redocketed at that time, so no need to re-advertise.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Moving on, 593 South 10th Street.
Okay, so this is BZNA 0114-2025 for 593 South 10th Street. The subject site is located on the northwest corner of South 10th Street and Vine Street and contains a single-family residence built around the turn of the century and a detached garage built in the 1950s. The property is in the R5 multifamily residential zoning district and was is within the downtown area and surrounded by a mix of single-family and multifamily residential uses, as well as commercial uses on all sides. That's what the property looks like. The subject property is a corner lot. According to the UDO, a corner lot is a lot located on the intersection of two or more streets, the interior angle of such intersection not exceeding 135 degrees. And on corner lots, there will be 2 front yards as determined by road frontages. The UDO limits the height of fences within the front yard to 4 feet. Fences in the side and rear yards can be up to 7 feet in height. The existing house, as you can see, is on a corner lot and is oriented towards South 10th Street and looks like this. The South 10th Street front yard setback is much smaller in the developed areas such as the downtown area. The planning department determines the front yards based on the average of the 2 adjacent yards on either side. So if you look back at this photo, the front yard along South 10th Street is much smaller than the front yard along Vine Street. The Vine Street front yard setback was determined to be 27 feet. The petitioner is requesting to have a 6-foot privacy fence encroach within that front yard setback about 5 feet. She will still have so it'll be a 6-foot privacy fence. She'll still have a 22-foot front yard setback along Vine Street, and she will not, the fence will not be in any vision corner clearance areas.
I can't really tell. On
What?
the north side of the property, is there an alley that goes through there?
That's correct.
Okay.
So if you look at this drawing here, this has an error. This is supposed to be 25 feet, but it doesn't matter because the fence is back here, so it won't obstruct visibility from Vine Street or 10th Street onto the other street.
Oh, so the north side of the house, it's just a border between the house and the neighbors, there's not an
Correct.
alley there?
This is the south side.
Okay.
And then on this side, you'll see that the fence is still outside the vision corner clearance between the alley and Vine Street. The petitioner is requesting the variance to permit a fence within the front yard setback to exceed the maximum 4-foot fence allowed, and has requested this fence for a proposed 6-foot fence to contain a large exuberant dog capable of jumping a 4-foot fence. She would also like to establish visual privacy of the rear yard area from the pedestrian and vehicular traffic in the downtown, which is higher in the downtown area. As you can see, the fence will be right here, just outside of the driveway. And shield the whole back of her house, which is full of windows. Again, she's requesting this fence because of her energetic dog named Lucy. While Lucy is not an aggressive dog, she's very excitable and could potentially knock over a small child or frighten them. She also has a plan to restore this house back to its historic character, and she believes that the fence will help do that.
Do we have a design for the fence yet, or is this just a preliminary move to get approval to put one in?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Again, while the proposed fence exceeds the maximum height allowed within the front yard, the portion of the fence along Vine Street, on the Vine Street side of the corner lot, will be located approximately 22 feet from the property line, and the fence as proposed would provide a secure outdoor area for a large dog and privacy area for the property owner. This proposal would be consistent with the other downtown properties that have been granted fence variances for similar reasons. Staff recommends the approval of this variance based on the findings of fact and the specific conditions listed in the staff report.
Thank you very much. Is the petitioner present? If you'd like to step forward and state your name and address, please, for the record.
Good evening, I'm Pam Smeltzer, 593 South 10th Street, Noblesville.
Do you have anything to add?
I do not, no,
Okay. Lucy looks like a good girl. We have a picture over here.
Lucy is a good girl.
Okay.
She's just big.
Yeah. Is it a mountain dog or?
She's a Bernese Mountain Dog, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. All right. Does anyone else have any questions for the petitioner? All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This item is before us for a public hearing. If anyone would like to speak for or against this item, seeing none, I will close the public hearing.
I'm making a motion to approve with the findings and facts. And conditions.
It's been moved and seconded. Could we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Bertner,
Aye.
Mr. McGinnis. Chairperson Field.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0.
Go Lucy.
Go Team Lucy. That's right. Do we have anything else before the board this evening? Thank you, everyone. We are adjourned.